it's something we're talking about and looking at a lot. We think it's an important thing to pick apart, but I think I think that view of it's worse than CS:GO is overly simplified. I do think there are situations in which it is, and we're working on that. There's situations where I don't think it is, and I think it's kind of like, since it's so hard to kind of pin down, it's really hard to, or it's really easy to go it's better or worse and kind of want to give it kind of a passing or failing grade, when I think it's like, oh, there's some things that probably do need to be improved to better meet our commitments, but there's also some things that are like working as intended or even better. Some of it's about movement speed, animations, server stuff or internet stuff that I have no idea about. We're, on this team, we really don't understand too much about that. Like, we're not really on that kind of thing, but I wanted to talk a little bit about it. Finally, I got a good Mr. Gosicki question.
Oh, what's up?
I did not say your name. My friend Bombo Bomb is in here, which I understand why is confusing. How are the names of the maps chosen, Zach Betka?
They are chosen. One, there's a story obviously inside of the maps for the larger narrative of the game. But two, we try to pick names of the maps that deal with like a very obvious call out for them. So that if you see a name like, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense for the map. An example being like Bind, is bound together by those teleporters. Split, because there's a very obvious environment art split between one side and the other. Haven, because it feels like this sort of like secluded getaway type of temple area. So just things that kind of align with some of the primary reads of the map.
VFX now, so strap on. That was a weird. Strap in. Strap in. Perhaps is what I meant to say. What about idle animations in champion select? Either John or Niles, you guys might want to talk a little about that.
What specifically is the question?
Having animations, not having a static, just like fixed pose within the character select.
It's probably safer for John to take this one.
Okay.
So all I'll say right now is like we definitely are looking at the character select experience and want to try and make it as cool as possible. That's kind of the end of that statement.
I'm going to turn you up a little bit here. I know we want to do more though than the static poses we have now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We definitely want to amp up the experience of going through picking characters, what's that's like, make it as cool as possible and as satisfying as possible.
Okay.
And all of that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Thank you. I do not know, so now I do.
So yeah, I think it'll be like agents are ambidextrous, chosen by your hand choice eventually, would probably be how it actually works.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's good, Zach. I appreciate you bringing that one up. Couple quick questions. This one's come up a few times. Thoughts on changing the movement speed slow to being shot while changing to area-based movement slow? We're working on tagging. The only hill we'll die on is when you get shot, you will be slowed, and it needs to be punitive. That doesn't mean the tuning we have today needs to be the final tuning. I know Coleman, that's actually something we've talked about a bunch in the balance discussion meetings, is like tagging. And I think it's one of those things. How would you even track? Do you even have a way that, from a data standpoint, you would be able to track that, or are we still too early for that kind of thing?
No, I mean, a lot of our data ecosystem.
Voice actress Ashley Birch is just an absolute star in that VO session. I think I cried multiple times in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like every line that she gives is like this incredible, viperous, forgive the pun, like toxic, poisonous, incredible delivery that I still like whenever she says some things. I'm like, oh, I love you.
The spike explosion. They look similar visually.
Yeah, Niles, what is that?
Yeah, Niles. Yeah, Niles. If he doesn't answer, he's fired. No, I'm kidding.
Oh shit.
I can't.
Yeah, they are the same energy. They're radionite. The spike is. Are we? Zach, do you want to talk about the narrative? What the spike is doing?
I sure don't.
Is it not time for that yet?
It's not time for that.
Okay, that's premature.
Spike is doing something. Spike isn't just exploding. It's actually not exploding.
But visually, they are. We're actually intending for them to feel connected like that, though, right?
Correct. Yeah, they're one and the same energy, and that might pop up other places in the game soon.
Yeah, and so we are using that as an intentional link, but we can't tell you what that stuff is yet. All right. Any chance Breach will have the same skin with the helmet as the player cards? Yeah.
Phoenix is just like, oh shit, you can do that too, which I love.
Mhm.
Yeah, some serious, some fun.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and answer a different quick question from the Booty Bishop, who I also like to call the Keister Cardinal, or the Posterior Pontiff. But I think he wants to know about ragdolls. Please put in ragdolls. Sorry, I ruined ragdolls. We had ragdolls for a while. And then for gameplay reasons of having everybody have the exact same visibility of where a body is and making it so that when you kill somebody, they're not going to fly off the map and then Sage can't res them. So for gameplay purity, sort of, and gameplay competitive integrity, we've not done ragdolls in favor of fixed death animations that will always predictably leave the corpse in a place that is valid for gameplay, if that makes sense. Okay.
Which we can swap back and forth. Left-handed, things like this.
Wait, like, can we switch between right?
No, as in like, so the other night Isaac was like, "Hey, why is every character right-handed?" And like, I had my answers for it, and I assume it has something to do with like screen placement, UI, all that jazz. But I don't have a good answer. I would love you guys to help me.
So I think it's where I know a lot of people are asking about what's called left-handed view model. So you can just swap your gun over to the left. We want them all to use whatever you set is. Like right now we don't have a setting for it. We hear the players want that. I don't know who or when we're going to do that, but I think it's something we're interested in pursuing. It's more of a, that, I don't know who would do that even. Honestly, it's not us, weirdly.
Mm-hmm.
It's like game systems. But
it is.
it's something we know we'd want to do. Like, it's a clear ask.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.